We can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have...
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
And then Contrarian.
Total.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's her.
I'm the flower, it's
Mister.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
We're learning a lot about each other.
What is that called? You made chicken. Oops.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power. That should tell you that Primetime Wollersheim is out today. We have Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio.
Close enough, guys.
Yes. Look,
Still doing fantastic.
It's a good start, but...
We're 45 seconds into the show. Wrong key already.
Matt, you get back there.
It's more of a compliment to Prime than a knock on Chrissy. Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. It's good to be back. I was looking at my schedule for the summer, and I got to apologize. I'm like Matt Hamilton up in here. Like, I'm barely around. Kids always got me doing stuff. Went camping this weekend. I think Monday I have to take my kids and my wife next Monday.
Oh.
We're all going to go to Noah's Ark for my daughter's birthday present that we haven't delivered yet. And then there's more camping, and then there's a Brewers-Cubs game. Like, goodness gracious, there is so much going on in the summer.
You guys are both out this Friday, too, by the way, so I'm doing a solo show. Like, I am by myself.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm with Josh DiMaggio, but I saw you guys are both out, and I was like, do I just take the day, too? Like, I mean, why am I here?
Play a best of?
Yeah, but you know
go.
what? I'm good, and I am nice, and I am a hard worker, so I'm going to do the show with Josh DiMaggio on Friday.
So things that I missed quickly before I get back, before we get into everything else, was one, the Milwaukee Bucks. Bill Simmons had, I think, the best analogy for this. And look, sometimes it works. It's not the best strategy, but he kind of came up with the analogy that the Milwaukee Bucks, what they did, getting Miles Turner and more importantly, basically stretching Dame out for the next 5 years at $22.5 million per year, was the equivalent of a failing marriage saying, let's have a baby and let's see what happens. And it can work. I'm sure it has worked without a doubt. But he had a podcast today, and the only thing he can kind of come up with is that, like, this is the only way you can keep Giannis around. But unless the Bucks get Chris Paul or Bradley Beal, I'm not loving what they did, because they didn't mortgage the future to be a clear and obvious championship contender.
But even if they got Chris Paul or Bradley Beal, like you're saying, would that really push you over the line where you're like, they're going to win a championship?
Closer. Because I think the general rule for something like this, and I'll just run through a few things that I missed and then we can move on. But general for something like this is that I think you have to be a team that considers themselves a top 3, top 2 contender to do what the Bucks did, to mortgage the entire future. Now, you're already pretty mortgaged, but now you're basically you've guaranteed we're going to burn our house to the ground in 3 years. Like, it's just, we're going to burn it all to the ground. And because they have no assets through 20, and I think they're probably going to end up trading Kyle Kuzma. They have no assets through 2031. I think they can trade a 2031 pick. So, goodness gracious, now they have no money to spend as well. 844-770-3776, how you get into the show. Carl was talking text line. This is more. John E. in his fields already. Jim, go back on vacation, please. Look, I'm sorry, but someone has to speak the truth here that, like, this may work. But it may work in the same idea that a marriage may be saved by having a baby. Like, that to me is like the way of looking at it. Like, it could work, but every betting service has the Bucks as, like, most of them like as an 8th seed in the East. Mm-hmm. Atlanta got really good. New York hired a really good coach. Like, there's teams in Cleveland. They were a juggernaut until the playoffs. So, like, and they lost to the eventual champ or Eastern Conference champions in Indiana. So those teams are immediately in front of them.
Right.
And so I think Orlando's better now too. They added Desmond Bane. They have some top young players. So all of a sudden the Bucks are really kind of saying it's a wing and a prayer. And I'm not saying. The last thing I'll say on this is that if you want to tell me that Shams' report, that's the first thing I thought about when Shams said that Giannis is at least considering going somewhere else. You know who believed that report? The Milwaukee Bucks. Because you don't do all this if you don't think you're losing Giannis.
100%.
That's how I'll end it there. You can agree with me or disagree. 844-770-3776. Crawford's Talking text line. List is more. Sign unlimited poll question. Won't post it on social. But, do you agree that the moves the Bucks made showed that they thought Giannis was leaving? Because that's the first.
Staying.
Well, no, they thought he was leaving. They're we got to.
These are all panic moves.
Yeah, we got to sell. We got to sell. We got to do everything to show Giannis that we are all in. They were terrified of losing him.
Oh, that it was a real possibility.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But do you think, remember how there was the reports that Giannis and the Bucks were going to have big discussions, whatever week that was? Do you think that they ever actually talked?
I don't think
Yeah.
directly.
And then Giannis was like, get me Miles Turner.
I think it was through intermediaries.
Interesting.
And I think Giannis said, do something. Because also, Chris Haynes, who had the report that Giannis is upset about, his cousin is Giannis's wife. So, he's not making, he must have some insight into what Giannis is feeling about getting rid of Dame. So I think the two things can be true.
But also, there's no, it's okay for Giannis to be bummed that Dame is leaving, okay?
Yes.
I'm sure everybody on the team that knew Dame was sad to see him go.
Right.
But also at the same time, you can't pretend like Giannis wasn't involved in literally all of these decisions. There's been things coming out that Giannis wanted Miles Turner for a while.
Right, but also, my point is that Chris Haynes isn't making stuff up. Giannis can be disappointed, and I think the disappointment would be...
But he put it out as breaking news. Giannis is upset with the Bucks.
Well, because...
Come on. What do you want the Bucks to do?
Build a better team around him. This is the problem.
Around Dame?
Well, listen. They acquired John Horst. John Horst acquired Dame and then just ran out the same crappy roster around him. Dame can't defend anyone. So John Horst did a half measure. He got Dame and then said, but I'm not going to put anyone else that fits the pieces around him. Because Giannis and Dame barely fit together. Mm-hmm. Dame, already reports coming out, he didn't really want to be here in the first place. This was not his choice. So you get a guy who came here and was professional, but this is not where he wanted to be. The basketball fit was never set.
Well, he struggled for the first half of his first season with... homesick.
Yes, because I think he was going through a divorce. His kids are back in Portland. So a lot going on there. But then the other part of it was there was not a basketball fit, and Horst didn't make any moves to then make the rest of the pieces fit. So again, I think John Horst is arguably he's, to me, turning into one of the worst GMs in all of the NBA.
So what, is that our question?
No.
Is he the worst GM?
No. Because here's what I really want to know.
Time's going to tell if he is or not. Because if this completely backfires and say Giannis says he wants out at the trade deadline this year or at the end of next year, I'll give it to you. You sold everything you had to keep the guy. You couldn't even keep the guy.
Well, and here's the thing. Yes, right? I mean, if
now,
Giannis...
props to him. I think he did everything he possibly could with the money he had. If he... Not getting rid of Dame, there was nothing he could do to convince Giannis that this is a team. It was gap year or do this crazy $22 million for 5 years to Dame, stretch him out, waive him, and then maybe bring somebody in who, has a pelt on the wall and can show you what's going on. And obviously a runner-up pelt, but it's a pelt nonetheless.
But also this roster, Kevin Porter, nobody thinks he's a starter. Gary Trent Jr. is not really a starter. Your front,
what about Ryan Rollins? Re-signed recently.
I love it, but that's not a starter on a championship team. They got some nice, they do have some nice pieces.
I was very happy to see that Bobby is no longer a starter. He's still the sixth man, which is his best role.
Yeah.
So, but I was nervous when he was your number 4 or 5.
Yeah, but now you have Miles and you have Giannis and you have Bobby. That's great front court. Your back court is trash. It's full of backups. Mm-hmm. So on good teams, all three of their 60% of their lineup is still backups on a championship team.
Yeah.
So,
but Giannis can carry that load.
You don't want him to.
He can carry the load of
you do. That's
No,
the
you
only
don't.
way that
No,
this
you
is going to
don't.
happen.
Nobody's carried a load of 3 starters.
Okay, I'm just saying Giannis goes out and puts up 30 every night, sometimes more. That's just his thing.
Okay,
So,
and then how has that panned out in the playoffs the last couple of years? Then what?
Well, he had an injury, Molly.
because
Yeah,
he
exactly.
has
This
to-
last year was the first year that he hasn't.
Because he has to put so much effort forward throughout the year to carry this
He has to go
carcass of a team.
110% all season long. Their season is huge. And you expect him to do that all year and then be perfectly fine to go in the playoffs?
I mean, we've been plagued with injuries, big injuries. Whether it was Middleton 3 years ago,
Yeah.
2 years ago it was Giannis, last year it was Dame. It's always something, and it's always your top 3 guys.
Okay, but the Giannis one I'll give you. Dame is old. You got to kind of have to budget for injuries. But also, Chris Middleton, when you re-signed him, he was old and injured. Like, that's on you. Like, the Middleton one, there's no sympathy at all for me on the Middleton one. When you re-signed him, he was old and injured. You shouldn't have re-signed him.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but like he is, without a doubt, even then was a key starting player on this team. If you thought you had a shot at making the finals,
The idea of him, a good GM looks at him and says, "You know what? He's injured. He never was athletic to begin with, and now he's hurt. And is he going to come back? Like, I don't want to take that risk." Regardless, the other question I had is, are we still sans wedding ring, Molly?
We are. And still Sans' husband doesn't know.
So give
that is insane to me. You went a 3-day weekend and husband didn't look at your hand once.
I was in the dark the whole time.
Wow, impressive. Molly just lived in that basement suite of hers.
Molly, give a quick recap, like a cliff notes of what happened.
So last week, I don't know what day it was, Wednesday maybe, I put my ring into like my little belt bag, fanny pack, whatever you want to call it. I literally looked in there and I was like, that looks a little sketchy, but I'm never going to lose it. I've never lost it before. So then I just zipped it on up and didn't think about it. And then when I was at our office a few hours later, I was like, oh, I should put my ring back on before the show. Because like I got to look like I'm married on the video stream, you know? So I go put it on. My ring is gone. It is nowhere to be found. I shake that sucker out. Nothing. I look all over the office. I had everybody in the office on their hands and knees looking for my ring. Nowhere to be found. Matt came in. Matt was an incredible co-host and friend. He came in, helped me search our station vehicle and all that good stuff. Couldn't find it.
Looked in the station vehicle twice.
Yeah, he did after the show, too.
That is a very good friend. Yeah.
Very good friend, yes. So I do not have my wedding ring. I do not know where it is. So if you find a wedding ring, give me a call.
So that is
844-770-3776.
Give us a text on the Carpus Talk text line if you find a ring. Take a picture of it and send it.
So that's what I want to post at Jim, Matt, and Molly, our Side of the Limited poll question, our first social media one, was that if you find a wedding ring, do you turn it in? 844-770-3776, or one that you think is a wedding ring. Like, where is that line of what do you turn in? Our Side of the Limited poll question, 844-770-3776, and the Carpus Talk text line list is more. If you find a wedding ring out and about, do you turn it in? Absolutely. I think there's a line of a certain amount of cash if you found it laying around. I remember I found like $100 bill or like $250s, and like it was, I think it's still there. There's like a pick and save on Park Street, and there was like in the parking lot there. It must have fallen because it was like folded over. It might have been more than that.
Right.
And I was like, man, this is not nothing money. It'd be nice to have it, but I still was like, mm-mm. So I took it inside.
Interesting.
I gave it to the
loose bills. Totally fair game.
It was too much. Like to me, it just felt like that could be really like devastating money if someone lost it. So now, what if I ever made it to him? I don't know. I took it to the person, like the front desk person at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Maybe they pocketed it. Maybe they kept it. But I was like, this is just too much money for it to be like not life changing for someone there.
See, like wallets, purse, like rings, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Totally turning that in.
Yeah.
Loose cash. I don't know. I mean, I guess to a point.
Like $20, $50 even I probably would have pocketed. But like this was, I feel like well over 100.
Oh, well over 100. Okay.
Like, it was, like,
I
folded
think
over.
a good line of demarcation would be 2 digits or less. Like if I found $90, 50 and 220s, maybe that's mine now. But if it's like a bank envelope
Oh yeah.
and it has
Oh,
like
gosh, yeah.
$400 in it, like I would be more
You're taking
likely
it back
to turn
to the
that
bank.
one back.
Yeah,
or maybe to the bank.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a receipt in it and they can figure out who it is and just redeposit it. I don't know. But you're right. But definitely 100% a wedding ring. At the very least, I'm picking it up and putting it in a place a little more prominent. So if someone comes back looking for it, it's not like hidden in the corner.
Yes.
And then we can test everyone else. It's like a social experiment to see if anyone else takes it.
Well, look, I mean, when we were we were camping, I joked that people were trying to be nice. There was like a decent water bottle that was sitting out for 3 days in a row, like by the fishing. So at that point, like clearly someone had left it, and but nobody, like if you're walking by, you don't know it's been there for 3 days. We camped, walked by, we left it too, but it was just like that was one of those social experiments where like we're gonna leave it here because it looked like a nice water bottle, and someone might want to. Yeah, I don't think it wasn't a Walla, but it was
the greatest water bottle on the planet,
dude. The breakdown that my oldest daughter had when my wife opened the door. We were camping, and my daughter didn't put her Owala water bottle all the way in the truck door, so it kind of fell out and hit the ground, and it
dented.
Yeah, it dented on the bottom, but like
mine too.
She took all of her anger out on my wife.
Oh wow!
So then because you're mad at yourself, but then my wife's not having it all.
But your wife opened the door.
Right.
Her fault.
Right, yeah. So my wife wasn't having it. Like, so this is one of the rare times where like I gave Rosie a hug. I'm like, I get it. You're really upset. This is a really nice water bottle. And it's like a nice thing that you have, but like you can't yell at mom. Then she's like, but mom doesn't care. Like, and I was like, because you yelled at her right away.
Yeah,
like you screamed at her. You ruined your chance at sympathy when you start screaming at your mom for this or whatever. But anyways, back to the thing. If you found what would you return? Like, what's your line?
I feel like I'm kind of aligned with you guys. I've never experienced that where I've even found anything. But if I found a wedding ring, now knowing like the feeling of it too, I would bring it back. I don't know where you bring it back to. That'd be my thing to figure out. I think before you were saying like maybe the police station. That could be a good place to bring it. But rings, a purse, a wallet. Like I wouldn't take anything out of it. I would literally probably look for their ID, get their info, and then like
try and find them on Facebook.
Yes, exactly. Or like reach out to them and I mean, I wouldn't want to like just show up at their house like a creeper, but like
your address was on your ID. I thought I'd come by.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't take anything out of it because I'm such a believer in karma that I just don't want to get bit in the ass. You know?
Yeah, I agree on that. Like you just don't. It's just, you put yourself in that person's shoes. A wedding ring or something like jewelry. And honestly, it's more you want to turn it into than even cash because like. Right. That could have sentimental value. Even if it's not a wedding ring, it could be someone's grandmother's ring. Like people put value, especially into things like jewelry. That's like part of the reason why you give jewelry. It's part of the reason why you could go to like Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or Middleton and you get an important piece of jewelry and you want to give it to someone or have old jewelry that maybe meant something to your family that you want to have customized and made with the same piece of metal. Like jewelry is one of those things that does carry an emotion. You go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton, Madison's family-owned and Madison's custom jeweler there. So 844-770-3776. If you found a wedding ring in honor of Molly not finding hers yet, would you turn it in? I guess the other my wife doesn't wear her wedding ring often. She wasn't much of a jewelry person to begin with. She'll try to remember like when she teaches to wear it once in a while, but like she doesn't wear it much. So like I wouldn't notice either way if she had lost it or not because like she's just not a ring person.
Right.
Now, to be fair, I wasn't either. I just put it on, but also like it's now I barely even noticed I'm wearing it. It's just like on.
I thought I was going to be one of those guys that had to have a necklace, and I was just going to put the ring on that because like I can't have a ring on my finger. Now I've got an extra ring on one hand, and I got my wedding ring in the other. That's telling Molly. And I thought at first it was to make her feel better, and then I realized it was not doing that. I was like, I've only taken my wedding ring off probably less than like 20 times since 2017.
A few people have chimed in. I barely take mine off. One, TJ from the road said, Molly, if you check your homeowner's policy, it might be covered.
Okay, I need to look into that.
And then DJ Jazzy Jeff chimes in. The other part of the equation, did Molly report it missing? If people are going to turn in a found wedding ring, how do the people received it know whose it is?
How do I report a ring missing? Do I go to the police station and say, hey, I'm missing a ring?
I don't know.
I told our security downstairs at our front desk. I said, please let me know if somebody turns in a ring.
And you told the people at the place you lost it.
Yeah.
If a ring was turned in there.
Yep.
What about like
I don't know.
Sylvia, the restaurant nearby, so the vintage?
I should do that.
Like you should.
The parking garage?
Yeah. I
the
guess.
city of Madison?
We're pretty good at
Could try
posting,
Facebook Marketplace. Or like just Facebook.
See, that's what I was looking at too. A lot of like Madison Lost and Found is a lot of just like dogs, unfortunately. So I'm trying to navigate how to figure that out. So not to bring the show down or anything, but
help Molly find. That's the mission of today's show: is help Molly find her missing wedding ring. 844-770-3776. Carl's Talk text line. List is more. We're gonna play For Real or Phony with Jeff Passan's audio from when he joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee earlier today.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Clinky Cleaners has been in business for over 65 years, and they've had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for right around 30 years. CFO Sean Young explains why.
Probably the best thing about James Imaging that's worked for us is they're reliable, they're dependent, they always make things easy for us.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and local people who make doing business easy.
They're quick to come whenever we need them, point out lots of simple things for us to try to save us some money and save us time and eliminate headaches.
So Sean, the bottom line of having business technology from James Imaging Systems?
I just appreciate the work that James Imaging has done for us. They're always looking out for our best interests.
James Imaging Systems. Make it easy, save money, eliminate headaches. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They have Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Chrissy Birdsall behind the glass. We are presented by Coors Light. And Primetime Warsheim out today, but he'll be back tomorrow. So we got Chrissy back there, and she gets to run the ones and twos for...
He's taking a day off to crush Coors Light?
I guess so. Is he? Were we told why? Is he? I'm guessing he went back home and it's just taking an extra day to get back.
Brewer game.
Molly,
he went to a Brewer game? That's what he
Hamilton.
told me.
He took the day. The game starts at like 6:45.
Yeah, but why not take the day? The fun part of his day is this. The rest
That's
of it.
true.
So like, you're gonna miss this.
He's probably already there tailgating.
I do wish he would have called in. Like when I go to the Cubs game, like it's the Monday of that series, like I will call in, but give you a little report, a little live report from Wrigley North.
Wrigley North. Okay, I was like, I thought it was at AmFam.
Yeah, Wrigley North. When the Cubs are in town, it's Wrigley North. So we'll give you the update on that one.
That disgusts me.
It was pretty great. When I left, the Brewers I think were 2 games out, and now they're 4, and they had a nice soft little schedule there because the Mets had won like 3 of their last 13 before the Brewers, and then you played the Marlins and the Rockies, 2 of the worst teams in all of baseball.
Gave up a win to both of them.
So I was like, oh man, the Cubs are going to lose some ground here because they had the Cardinals and I forgot they had the Guardians. So I was like, I don't love this, but it worked out okay. So now we're going to play For Real or Phony. Now For Real or Phony is set up like this. Jeff Passan was on Willie and Tausch earlier today. We're going to play some audio from him, and then we're going to decide, is he telling the truth? Or Molly, you had this idea of he's kind of pandering?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so that's kind of at least coloring our opinion here of For Real or Phony.
Well, look who's talking now.
You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Now, are they speaking the truth
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
or feeding us crap?
You're a phony! Hey, everybody! This guy's a great big phony!
Time to decide if it's for real or phony.
All right, Chrissy, let's hear, we can kind of run through dealer's choice here for Real or Phony, but why don't you go ahead and give us the first cut here from Jeff Passan on Willie and Tausch.
Yep, this is Jeff Passan, the big liner of the day, talking about the Brewers, how close they might be to a World Series contender.
Maybe.
I think the Brewers are one big bat away from being a legitimate World Series contender. Like, I think that's what the ceiling of this team is. And I think they could probably use another relief arm, though, honestly, the way that McGill and Mears and Uribe have pitched this year, the way that Ashby has looked lately in particular, it's like, man, they keep adding, and they keep getting better.
I don't disagree that the Brewers are they're not one bat away, because also it's misleading. I will say this. I think he is, to Molly's point, I think he is spinning us towards the audience, because you could go to Chicago and say you're one starting pitcher away. Chicago's 18 games above 500. The Brewers are 10. So by all intents and purposes, Chicago, the Cubs, would be closer to a World Series by adding a middling player than the Brewers would be by adding a big bat. I think the Brewers are a team, like, honestly, the way that if Jeff Passan was really going to say it, it would have been, for real, would have been the Brewers are one big bat away from guaranteeing themselves a playoff position. I'm going to say phony because I think he added a little extra pizzazz to it because he knew he was on in Wisconsin.
You're a phony!
That's what I think. I think that is the only reason why he said this.
You're
was
a
to
phony!
Make Wisconsin sports fans feel good.
Well, I did feel good. And I'm going to say that's for real. I do think that the offense seems to be clicking right now. Again, it's not like that flashy home run, like you're selling out all the time for the home run. It's like they just nickel and dime other teams to death. The bats have been going. They have had pretty good success hitting. It would be nice to have a true slugger on the team. Do I think if we had a slugger, we'd be like a shoo-in? No. But instead of what I think now is a Brewers playoff team, maybe you could be championship game, maybe not all the way to the World Series, but it definitely gets you another step closer. So I agree that there was a little extra pizzazz, but I don't think he was wrong in his statement that one big bat puts you over the top to at least a contender.
I'm for real.
Okay.
All right, what's the next one?
Molly, you pessimist.
We got one more about Passan talking about the development system of the Brewers and what he had to say about the ownership group.
and the development system that the Brewers have is just really, really good. And they've taken advantage of that, and that's what you have to do when you don't have an owner who's going to go out there and spend much.
And that is interesting to me because thinking of the White Sox, and they're kind of relevant here. So Andrew Vaughn, a player called up today by the Milwaukee Brewers to replace Rhys Hoskins, is a guy who is the poster child for the White Sox failed development system. They also are a cheap team. He was a top pick. He has been a terrible baseball player. He was a throw-in. There was a pitcher on the Brewers who wanted to be traded away. The White Sox we'll give you this pile of trash for your pile of trash. Let's just move it around.
We'll give you this guy and a half-eaten sandwich.
But to the point of the White Sox have not invested in their infrastructure. So I don't know how much the Brewers have. This, because usually cheap teams don't spend money on the scouts and the advanced numbers and analytics and all of that. So I'm going to say he's for real, but I think it's more about the Brewers never, back to his first thing, they don't trade away their young talent to go get a quick payoff.
Like a proven
So they always
veteran.
have someone around. It gets to the poll question I want to ask in a minute here. They'd rather move off a veteran and get more prospects than they would trade prospects for a veteran on the off chance they might be able to go deeper in the playoffs.
I'm for real. Draft and develop, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a good way of saying it. Like the Packers?
Yeah, but the Brewers, yeah, you're right.
I think it goes right back to his first point of okay, they're this close to potentially being a World Series team, but then on the flip side, if you're a fan, you always have to have it in your mind that they're not going to ever be willing to spend the money in order to make them a World Series contender. And that should make you feel terrible as a fan.
So for real or phony on his statement, though?
I mean, it's for real.
Okay.
I'm for real.
And I also think that's for real. We all know that ownership does not spend money on players, but the Brewers have been in the playoffs for what? Of the last 10 years. I off the top of my head, without knowing for sure, I would guess 7 times, maybe 8.
They've been there, yeah, for sure.
Right? So for a team that doesn't spend money, they have to be good in the development and bring up players, no names, to be at least relevant. That in the last 10 years is only 5.
That's according to Google AI. The Milwaukee Brewers made the playoffs 5 times in the last 10 years, specifically in the years 2018, 19, 20, 21, and 2023. But they were in it last year, right? Yeah. 2024.
They've won the division 2011, 18, 21, 23, and 24.
So those are the obviously.
2011 is more than 10 years ago.
I was just saying those are the ones to me
Yes.
that matter because the wild card, and I don't know, each year it's kind of like the Packers wild card where they've expanded everything.
Mhm.
It doesn't carry as much weight just making the playoffs. Division titles are undisputed, and they still have 21, 23, and 24. That's
But
pretty
again,
good.
you're competing with teams in the division that do spend money, like the Cubs,
Yep.
right? So what I'm getting at is the Brewers have been at the very least near the top of the table in the division, year in and year out, and they have to do it on developmental players. And it seems like they're doing a pretty dang good job. If they would spend some money, it could push them over the edge, and they could be that team.
Yep.
For real.
I was say, for real?
I'm for real. That is the
Of course he
most
is.
for real I've had on this entire segment of the show. For real or phony. That one right there.
All right. We have one more or not? Just
I
two.
can get you one more.
All right, let's do one more.
Jeff Passan also talked about the owner, Mark Antanasio, and here's his comments on that one.
That they've done this on the kind of budget that they have and have been able to continue winning, it says to me at some point Mark Atanasio needs to step forward and give a little bit more in terms of resources. And I don't know if that's at this deadline because honestly, guys, there just aren't a lot of big bats that are likely to be available.
Can I say this? I think the best thing that can happen to Milwaukee Brewers is Mark Antanasio selling to someone who actually wants to spend money on the team.
Somebody who actually wants to win.
One of those private equity teams. One of those private equity firms that has
That's
cash.
just taking over the world.
Right, but here's the thing. Any franchise that is being run on P&Ls and trying to be in the black and not the red for sports franchise is a franchise you really don't want to root for. It's just not fun.
Well, yeah.
But
I've been a Brewer fan my whole life, and it has not been It's had fun moments, but it hasn't been fun as like a whole.
But like, look, the Cubs right now, so their ownership is like it's still not as fun to being as a Dodgers fan or a Yankees fan. The Cubs are still like, oh, we got a baseball budget. You know what? Teams that win, look, we all watched the Dynasty on MJ and all that kind of stuff. The Last Dance, that was self-inflicted because they wanted to save money. They were tired of selling out. The Chicago Bulls now are like a carnival. They don't care about winning. They care about filling up the stadium and say, hey, we saw where Jordan played. We all got to go there as a family one time.
Totally.
It's a horrible atmosphere, and it's a horrible setup. Same guy owns the White Sox. But, like, my point is, it sounds very similar to the Brewers and Mark Attanasio, like, hey, we're just here to put on a good time.
I mean, he did say that.
Yes.
That is a direct
summer
quote.
fun.
So, like, honestly, my take would be the best thing that happened to Milwaukee Brewers is Mark Attanasio selling.
I don't think you're wrong.
But I would say he's for real.
For real,
because
in
he's-
both of them, yeah.
Totally.
For real.
I think we all agree that he's for real.
Triple for real.
All right.
Maybe that was the most for real or fun.
So I got a for real question.
Yes.
That's
Did
going
you roll your eyes at me?
hit Brewer fans hard. But look, 5 days ago, ESPN did a piece and said that one player from every MLB team that might be traded, Freddie Peralta, is the guy that came up for the Brewers. And Sports Illustrated, Freddie Peralta's on the list here as a mock trade to the that's today, 5 hours ago, as a mock trade to the Mets.
We were saying that weeks ago that
Yes.
Freddie Peralta was the one. If they were going to trade somebody, it was Freddie.
Now, why are they going to trade him? His contract is up. He's at least let it known. There's been reports that he wants to be here. The Brewers are not making him a competitive offer.
Because he's only making like $8 million a year. Or
Well,
something.
right. So, like, the Brewers play the game. Baseball's designed to let franchises take advantage of their players. That's how the Brewers exist. And then, like, even the Jackson Chourio deal in like 3 years, they're basically ripping him off. But he gets money up front, and like he's at least going into it eyes wide open, getting ripped off. So, like, this case, Freddie Peralta is done getting ripped off. He's going to get paid big time money. He's young. He's having a hell of a season. Just named an All-Star. He's going to get big time cash. The Brewers are not going to put that out there. And so they would have lost Woodruff. They lost Corbin Burns. They're going to lose all these pitchers because they can never pay him. They don't want to pay him. So do we really think they're going to let Freddie Peralta walk? They didn't do this with Josh Hader. They traded him.
So it's the same idea that Goody had with Jair.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, well, we've invested a lot of time and money in this guy. We want to get something for him. But they obviously he was harder to trade. Freddie Peralta, there's a ton of teams that are going to.
It goes back to what Jeff Passan said.
Don't go to the Cubs, Freddie.
Well, you trade him, they won't trade him to the Cubs. Now, he could end up there next season as a free agent, but I wouldn't put that past it with Craig Counsell being there. But I would say this, that the question I have, 844-770-3776, Carl was talking text line, list is more. Our signing limited poll question, is it more likely, since Jeff Passan said the Brewers are one big bat away from being a World Series contender, is it more likely that they trade for a big bat or that they trade Freddie Peralta? 844-770-3776. That's our signing limited poll question. Carbon World Health, you can go there. You can use their fitness facility and get in better shape. You can use their hormone replacement treatment with testosterone injections and get to the best version of yourself and increase your mental health, increase your physical health. You also can ask them about GLP-1s. All that's available along with cryotherapy and red light therapy at Carbon World Health at their West Side or their Sun Prairie location. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With a family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie, the nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned Kia, you can browse their extensive inventory and find this month's specials at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership on the east side of Madison today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Vintage Weekend is up next July 17th through the 20th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
The old saying about it's not who you play, but it's when you play them, and the fact that they were Carl Brooks's middle finger away from being 0-6 in the division is crazy to me. You got to win your division games.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
All-star pitcher Freddie Peralta on the season, 9-4 with a 2.91 ERA, 104 strikeouts, and a whip. Matt, do you remember what whip stands for?
Yeah.
Nay-nay?
Whip. No, I forgot.
Walks, hits, innings pitched.
There you go.
He's got a whip just over one. So.
Yeah. I know. You should have asked Molly. She would have got it and then made me feel real bad about it.
But he is an all-star pitcher. He is also in his last year of his contract. I don't think the Brewers are going to pay him what he wants to get paid. I don't think he thinks he's going to get paid what he wants to get paid. ESPN and Sports Illustrated have both written stories that Freddie Peralta is definitely someone that could be traded at the trade deadline. Meanwhile, earlier today, Jeff Passan on Wilde and Tausch had this to say about the idea of how close the Brewers could be if they decided to go the other way and make a move at the trade deadline.
I think the Brewers are one big bat away from being a legitimate World Series contender.
So Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. Chrissy Birdsall behind the glass. We are asking you, 844-770-3776. Carl's Talking text line. List is more. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as well. We are asking you our Siding Unlimited poll question. Is it more likely that the Brewers trade Freddie Peralta at the trade deadline or trade for said big bat?
I mean, it's definitely more likely that they're sellers, right? They're just going to be like, adios, Peralta.
Well, maybe
like,
after 7-8 years of selling in a row here, maybe
They're just
they'll be
gonna
like,
shock
now's
us?
the time. We finally saved our shekels to the point where we can get a big bat.
They heard Jeff Passan on Willie and Tausch, and they're like, he said that. We can't let the world know that that's what we're going to do. Like, we're going to be sellers.
I think Mark Antanasio says, hey, as long as you keep on showing up to the ballpark.
Literally, though.
You want to know the early returns on this poll? We already have 32 votes on it. Yeah. Big bat, 65%. Trade Freddie, 35%.
That's such a homer's perspective.
It really is. Because here's ESPN. There has been speculation that the Brewers might be willing to trade Freddie Peralta, similar to the way they traded Josh Hader in 2022. So apparently all those Brewers fans voting yes have a short memory because...
Well, no, it's because we've saved our shekels from trading Josh Hader in 22.
I will explain.
Now we
to you,
have the money for it.
I will explain to you why the Brewers will not be trading for a big bat and more likely to trade Freddie Peralta in a minute. They were in a playoff race, and Hader had a year plus left of team control, and they still traded him. That move backfired when the Brewers missed the playoffs, the only year they didn't make it between 2018 and 2024. Trading Peralta might be even a bigger on-the-field and PR disaster, and we can't advocate for trading your best player. So they instead said trade for just cheap-ass pitcher Shelby Miller, who makes $1 million, and at least you look like you did something.
Look what we did. We got worse at pitching.
So,
that saved a ton of money, so we can pass those savings on to you, the fans, at the stadium.
They're saying instead of trading Peralta, add Shelby Miller, who's But they probably need a bat more than need Shelby Miller. They do have enough pitching. So, but here's the cycle of the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, I'm going to share this on a day that this day in history, I think 2008, they traded for CC Sabathia, which obviously changed the trajectory of that season for the Milwaukee Brewers and showed what something like that can do. But here's the Brewers. Mark Antanasio is owning the Milwaukee Brewers to make a profit. He feels his job is that he's P.T. Barnum. He's got to get people to show up and have a good time. It's a circus. It's not about wins and losses. It's a circus. Are you having a good time at the circus? And the thing is that he's learned, that he's perfected over the years, is that you trade your stars before you have to pay them. You can pick one. They picked Yelich. That didn't work out. They picked Braun. It didn't work out. So I feel like you almost don't want to pay these guys.
Well, what's working out mean? Winning a title?
I mean, Christian Yelich, even right now, maybe he's performing he has underperformed his contract dramatically, without a doubt.
Yeah,
big part has been his injuries.
But he's still.
His first season, didn't he win?
I don't think they paid him.
Player of the Year.
They didn't pay him then.
Oh,
they paid him after that. So this contract is an albatross. Now each year it goes along, it looks smaller, and he's playing better.
Mm-hmm.
He's over, I think, a win per season. But again, Jackson Chourio is exponentially cheaper and is more value. So again, Yelich is not really worth the money. He can't field anymore. He's kind of a DH. You always have to worry about him getting hurt. It didn't work out how they wanted it to work out in the Yelich deal. Same with Braun.
I'll give you that.
But regardless, that they have one guy they'll pay. But otherwise, they have to trade their star players to get more prospects to be able to backfill, so they never have to pay said players. So you have other young players coming up, like Mizorowski, Chourio. This is the next group. It's exciting. But what they can never do is they can't trade anyone of value that might actually affect winning in the next year or two, which is what you need to trade to go get a big bat, because then all of a sudden they don't have the backfill and they don't have the player. Because they're never going to pay anyone to come in, and they don't have the backfill of prospects to come in. So this is this cycle that you're on. It's a cycle of above average.
So is there any way of breaking that cycle?
Mark Antanasio has to stop being so cheap.
Pony up.
Because it's not just about the money. You have to trade the prospects, but prospects are like stocks to the Milwaukee Brewers. They're not trading their future stocks because the only way they can survive is on the future value of those stocks. And if you trade those stocks, you don't have those cheap players to backfill, the team will die. And Mark Antanasio is more concerned about sustaining a team that fills AmFam Field every single game until the Packers start than he cares about winning the World Series. We all can agree on that. He cares more about filling up AmFam Field and making money than he does care about winning the World Series. And until that changes, you're never trading prospects to go get a big bat because you can't lose that capital.
Is there any other team in the MLB that has that same mentality?
Tampa.
Okay.
I think the Royals will operate a little bit like that.
They
won a title
out of it, though.
And Tampa's been to World Series as well. They do it. They do go for it, though. The Royals went for it, and they got it with Ned Yost, former Brewers manager. But
that was the whole Billy Beane and the A's thing too, right? He was trying to build a roster based on purely statistics, but he was trying to do it on the cheap because they're the A's.
Well, the owners were cheap there, yes.
Right.
Yes, so the A's would have been. The A's are actually a good example, but they haven't been able to maintain like the Brewers have.
Right.
But yeah, Tampa. But
again,
Tampa's been to World Series, I believe. Yeah.
I say that, Jim. I was looking at like times, when I made my outlandish statement saying it was 7 or 8 times in the last 10 years the Brewers made the playoffs. It ends up it was 6, so it's close, but not quite there. I was looking back and seeing how many times in their history have the Brewers made the playoffs. And it was only 10, and the 6 of them were in the last 7 years, right? The drought, and you had mentioned, the Brewers made a big move for CeCe Sabathia in 2008. The last time they made the playoffs prior to 2008 was 1982. So, like, they have to change the cycle, right, to make something change. But now there's this slow, steady success at making the postseason. Like, this is exactly where Antanasio wants to be. Make the postseason, get a couple extra games of tickets sold, show the fans that, like, hey, we're postseason contenders, and in October anything can happen. But he knows, and we know. But like, after the history of the Brewers, 6 out of 7 is pretty dang good, right? So like, I think Atanasio is exactly where he wants to be.
Is that where you want to be?
Oh, no. I want him spending every dime he's got getting the best players in the world on our team. That's never going to happen.
I don't think it was our show when we were gone, and someone asked a very simplistic question. No, it was on the Saturday Scramble. They asked, would you want your team to operate more like the Bucks or the Packers or Brewers? The Bucks are they're both
We asked that on that last week. Me and Molly were talking about it.
So they stole your question, too. So
it's okay. It's a good question.
It is.
Yeah, but like, it's a little bit, I get it's a good question, but it's a little simple. Like, both are extremes. The Bucks have... Like, they've managed their assets poorly, and they've gone too in out of fear and basically have kowtowed to a star or the idea of keeping that star happy. Like, they have gone too far.
I don't know about fear. I would disagree.
They're terrified of losing Giannis.
They're terrified of losing him now, but, like, also every other team would do the same thing.
No,
maybe in different ways, but you're always going to try to keep your superstar in Giannis happy.
Other teams have traded their superstar. They moved on.
Nico Harrison.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
But other teams have. Like,
you give me a bag of peanuts and you can have Luke.
Okay, would you want your GM to be like that?
Is it this latest? Well, John Horst was a good GM when the Dallas Mavericks called and asked if they were interested in trading for Luka, maybe have the conversation longer. Because I believe that was a conversation. The Bucks just said, we're not trading Giannis. And like that ended the conversation. But a good GM would have been like, wait, who are you trying to trade? Mm-hmm. But they didn't do that. But anyways,
wait, did the Bucks get a call about Luka?
Not specifically, but there was a call about like, hey, would you trade Giannis? And they're like, no. But then their idiot GM was like, wait, who are you trying to trade? I would have traded, Giannis for Luka, not have to deal with the contract stuff and a guy 7 years younger.
A guy who loves to eat fried foods and drink beer in Wisconsin.
Get out of here.
But anyways,
come on, access to cheese curds.
But to
that dude ain't getting any smaller.
Like, the Brewers are the closest team right now, and I don't think they're that close. So none of these teams really work. None of these teams are close to winning a title. So none of these teams make sense to go all in. None of them do right now. Now, the Packers in a year, maybe. The Brewers in a year, maybe. The Bucks probably are going to be worse off in a year. But, like, none of them make sense to go all in. Now, the Packers, when they had Aaron Rodgers, and when he was the year they lost to San Francisco at home, like that year, maybe you should have spent some more money in free agency or gone.
Or the year they lost to,
I was going to say, there was a couple years.
The Buccaneers.
Or the year the Brewers traded Josh Hader and then missed the playoffs. Maybe you should have added someone that year.
Yep.
So it's all extremes, and honestly, the right answer, it's a good poll question because you have to answer one way, but like the right answer is somewhere in between. So I want to get to more on the Brewers and what experts, again, Sports Illustrated has an article here, and I'll just leave this little tease for you. We'll come back on the other side of it. But due to the team's market size and previous proactiveness in terms of trading away star pitchers, pundits have mostly refused to rule out the Brewers selling at the MLB trade deadline rather than buying. This is from Sports Illustrated. So we'll hit that up on the other side. So Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Nick Osen of Badger 247 joined myself and Pablo Iglesias on the Jump Around Thursday afternoon and shared some insight into what he believes is a much improved Wisconsin football team.
There's an honesty that, hey, we need to be better. We need to have better personnel and just, really kind of go all in terms of what you can do defensively. I think team's in a good spot, culture's in a really good spot, and now it's just about, hey, can you get back to that bowl game and hopefully get 1 or 2 of those marquee wins.
For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years if you order by July 31st at PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family. Caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with 0 sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Man, I got this right. My head to my bed. You know
She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar studio. We are presented by Coors Light. It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream and the new ESPN Wisconsin app. And we do have a Siding Unlimited poll question that you can chime in on, inspired by some articles that I've read about the Brewers possibly being the market to trade Freddie Peralta. And we do have a question out there, and fans are being a bit delusional right now. They're unaware of their own team. Which Brewers move is more likely, trade for a big bat or trade Freddie Peralta? 63% of fans say trade for a big bat. Let's mark this one because I'm going to find
How many votes?
68 votes so far.
Nice.
So
I retweeted it.
I am going to laugh a lot when Freddie Peralta's traded because the Brewers did this already in Josh Hader.
I just think this might be us trying to throw it in the ether, hoping it happens.
Hoping that Mark Antanasio's like on this poll.
Do you really want them to go get a big bat? They're not a one bat away from World Series contention.
It'd be pretty sweet to win a playoff series.
Like,
and if a big bat helps you do that and gets you that much closer.
At a cost of what?
If it's just money, Antanasio's fine.
No, it'd be prospects. It's long-term money. Again, you're trading your futures. You're trading your future draft, your future stock.
I mean, I can't really speak on this because I don't know any prospects for the
But it
Brewers.
doesn't matter
really.
the prospects.
Other than Jesus
No,
and Jesus.
But the Brewers only exist.
What was his last name?
Made?
Yeah, Jesus
Yeah,
Made.
Jesus Made.
He's the only guy that I'd be like, nope, he's off limits.
He's probably the one that brings you the big bat.
Well,
Then I guess find some other way. I don't know.
Right.
Waive somebody and pay him for the next 5 years and make it happen.
Can't do that. Here's what I want to say. The Milwaukee this is from Sports Illustrated. The Milwaukee Brewers are within reach of the first-place Chicago Cubs in the National League, but due to the team's market size and previous proactiveness in terms of trading away star pitchers, pundits have mostly refused to rule out the Brewers selling at the MLB trade deadline rather than buying. If Milwaukee follows the same formula it had with Corbin Burns and Josh Hader, the last two times they've had big-time pitchers, the team will trade right-hander Freddie Peralta before opening day 2026. While conventional wisdom suggests Peralta, the best starter on a playoff-caliber team, should remain in place, I think there's reasons to include him, if only just in case. The Brewers, who could have more healthy starters than spots by the time the deadline arrives, have shown in the past that they are willing to operate as a countercultural manner if the right opportunity presents itself. Remember the Josh Hader trade. Mm-hmm. Given the expected state of the market, Peralta could be the top available starter, creating the possibility that the Brewers could leverage other clubs to net an impressive return. A desperate New York Mets club who trail the Philadelphia Phillies by 1.5 games in the NL East could be the last thing to tip the Brewers to move on from Peralta. Let's explore the possibility. And then this thing says the Brewers get like all the top prospects from the Mets.
That sounds pretty Brewers. That sounds like what's going to happen, unfortunately. But let's hope it doesn't.
so this might be a dumb question because I just want to go back to you just saying, well, dole out the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the MLB doesn't have a salary cap, right? So
Right.
How does that work? Maybe again, like this
Like,
is
why
a
does
dumb
it have
question.
to be prospects?
But like, how come Antanasio can't literally just reach into his pocket and say, "I'm giving up $10 million"?
Because he's a cheap ass. There is a luxury tax.
Okay.
And the luxury tax kind of operates as a salary cap. It is a luxury tax, so basically after you exceed, and the Brewers are nowhere close to this, exceeding a certain payroll threshold, then you get taxed. And so for this year, it's $241 million. So they're nowhere close to doing so. They have plenty of room.
Do we know what they're even at?
I would guess half that. Luxury tax penalties. So then you get basically, I don't know the exact amount, but let's say you
108.8.
So not even half that. So
Jeez.
let's say you added, somehow you went over by like 20 million. You might have to pay an extra $5 to $8 million in tax per year on it. So like that's essentially how it works. So at some point, owners get cheap again. Different levels of cheap. Like, I'm annoyed with the Cubs. They worry about the luxury tax. You're the Cubs. You make money hand over fist. Do the luxury, spend money like you're the Yankees. The Red Sox operate similar to the Cubs, where they're trying to operate on a budget. Annoying as hell when you're a fan of a big market team.
Totally.
When you see the Dodgers spending money in a crazy amount and just keep on adding players, plus they have a farm system because they just sign players and then keep their prospects.
What do you
Yankees
think,
do that too.
What do you think the most what team spends the most in baseball?
L.A. or New York?
It's got to be
Yankees.
The Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers. What do you think, knowing that the Brewers are at, 108.8
Yeah.
for their payroll? What do you
Dodgers
think
are at
the
like
Dodgers?
500 something, but
Dodgers are at, I see there's two numbers here, but the big one is 303.5.
Jeez.
So
they're almost $100 million over. Almost. You said it's 240 and they're at 303?
241, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so they're 60 million over,
That's
and they're
insane.
200 million over the Brewers.
That is crazy. But it shows, right?
Right.
Riley in his Sports Center said that they're the best team.
Mhm.
They're coming off a World Series win. Like, I just don't know if you're an owner of a team. Why even be an owner of a sports team if you don't want to win? Like, seriously,
Because
why would you
want
be
to
the
make
owner?
money.
You want to,
and that's unfortunately. Seems like that's where we're at.
It's
as
also
Brewers fans.
an exclusive club that these guys never want to leave. 'Cause
I
when
guess,
you-
but isn't it an exclusive club to say that you're a champion?
I don't. There's plenty. Like the Marlins had cheap
More
owners for a long
exclusive.
time. Yeah, but the Marlins had cheap owners for a long time. The Clippers had cheap owners. Like there's plenty of teams that the Commanders had cheap owners. So like there's plenty of teams that have cheap owners that just. Now the new owners coming in. The nice thing is they have their own money as opposed to like being handed down money. And so like the one. Like I joked about the Bears, and we'll go to break on this, but like how they could sell 10% of their team to get $1 billion. They also need that $1 billion because the Hallis family doesn't do anything. They inherited the Bears from George Hallis, and now it's the McCaskey family, but like they don't have their own source of revenue. But the NFL is big enough where you can just sell off bits and pieces of the team, churn out $1 billion, and be able to then add to your team.
Right.
And so that's another way to do it. The Rooneys are another family, but there are still some NFL teams that are kind of the old
The Maras too.
Yeah,
Right. The
Yeah.
Giants.
No, I don't know. The Maras might have their own individual money. I don't know everyone, but like Woody Johnson has been around for a long time, but he obviously has Johnson & Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's older, but like you look at some of these new owners. Who was it? The new owner of the Commanders is loaded. I think Mark Cuban might get back into sports, loaded. So like, there's these like people out there that have a ton of money. A lot of it is in private equity.
Yeah.
But
Jaguars owner Khan.
Yeah.
I don't know his first
So
name.
wealthy.
Yeah. Insane.
His yacht.
Yeah. I know. I saw that just the other
Well,
day.
Did you see Magic Johnson's?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a minority owner in the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic Johnson. He was using Khan's yacht or like bought it from him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
that was the Jaguars owner's yacht.
And then he got a bigger one.
Must have.
Maybe to go to Jeff Bezos' wedding.
This is Jim Matt and Molly. Presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
How's it going, Madison? This is Chrissy Birdsall with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. The midpoint of the MLB regular season is almost here, and ESPN's MLB insider Jeff Passan joined Willie and Tausch this morning to talk the state of the Brewers ahead of the All-Star break, and he believes the Brew Crew is not that far off from making a splash on the national stage.
I think the Brewers are one big bat away from being a legitimate World Series contender. Like, I think that's what the ceiling of this team is. And I think they could probably use another relief arm, though, honestly, the way that McGill and Mears and Uribe have pitched this year, the way that Ashby has looked lately in particular, it's like, man, they keep adding. And they keep getting better.
Listen to all of Passan's comments on Willie and Tausch over on the ESPN Wisconsin app or wherever you get your podcast. The Brewers taking on the Dodgers tonight at AmFam Field. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. with pregame coverage starting right after Jim, Matt, and Molly. Listen here.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
and then contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Mer.
I'm the problem. It's
Mister.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN, Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's
possible.
possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. Chrissy Birdsall behind the glass. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I do have the power. And you can get into the show, 844-770-3776 in the Carl Talking text line. List is more. You can comment on our YouTube stream. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app, and you can answer our Siding Unlimited poll question. More likely, the Brewers trade for a big bat or trade Freddie Peralta. Multiple ESPN Sports Illustrated have said that, hey, it's not impossible. They would not write it off when talking to scouts and league execs that the Brewers would trade Freddie Peralta because he is nearing the end of his contract. The Brewers aren't going to pay him. They're going to want to get something for him. And if they can maximize their value, they wouldn't put it past the Brewers doing that. I do want to get to – it's list season, and our old Brad Nortman has a list on KBN, Kyle Bruston Nortman. And so I want to get to his list here. It's a weird list. It's a little counterintuitive because my understanding is like the best running back quarterback combination in the NFL, but most elite quarterbacks don't need the great running back. Like I'm trying to think off the top. Like Joe Burrow, was Joe Mixon. I don't know who was the running back last year.
Yeah, Joe Mixon wasn't.
Chase Brown.
It's fine. I mean,
he was a pretty solid running.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that like
he was supposed to split carries with the other guy and ended up just dominating the role.
Josh Allen.
He has Cook.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Who actually had a really great season last year.
They're looking to trade him.
Well,
like he's on a trading block.
He wants like
because they don't
real
need him.
running back money. Exactly.
They don't need him.
I don't disagree,
Yeah,
but
Chase Brown
he
is
was
there
really good
because they let Joe Mixon walk. Like good teams don't need a top 5 back.
What about Lamar Jackson?
He is a running back.
Well, yeah, they get to literally snap the ball every down with thunder and lightning in the backfield to start.
Yeah, I mean
he's like the only. He's like the what's your
Derrick
saying?
Henry.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So he's the. You have a saying like this guy is the not the aberration, but like this instance
the
is
exception that proves the rule.
Yes, exactly. The exception that proves the rule.
So
Ravens.
Regardless, it's a weird one to do because like Patrick Mahomes and like Aaron Rodgers had Aaron Jones. He didn't need Aaron Jones. It's nice to have, but like great teams don't need to pay their running back.
Mm-hmm.
Like
If you have a great quarterback,
right? Like if you are like the Packers don't want to pay Josh Jacobs again. I guarantee you that.
Well, yeah, especially with how much they're paying.
I mean, he's going to be 30 by the end of his contract, so they won't.
Right, but regardless, like
Bye-bye.
most teams wouldn't. He's going to struggle to find a contract. Really, I mean, the way he runs and the way he gets paid, he's a very good running back. Don't get me wrong, but like he's going to struggle to get paid again. I don't think he's going to struggle next year. I think he's a good football player. So let's hear from Brad Nortman because then I want to get to ESPN's list of the top 10 running backs in the NFL, and then I want to get to our list that I want to get to, which are who has the best backfield in the NFC North. But let's hear Brad Nortman on KBN.
Number 5, Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is such a stud. And I think that Jordan Love is as good or better than the quarterbacks that we just listed, maybe Jaden Daniels. But I think the combo of the two of them are a top 5 duo in the NFL. Number 5, Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs.
I'm sorry.
That was ahead of Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy. Like again, I understand the running backs, but Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, his argument was Christian McCaffrey can't. There's no guarantee he's going to be healthy.
All right.
Jaden Daniels has
let's just call
Brian
us
Robinson Jr.
Let's just call us a list of like Brad can't be negative, so he's got to figure out a way to spin something.
Brad can't be negative.
Yeah, because like don't get me wrong,
Green Bay to me.
he gave us the top 12 in that, and I do think Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs deserve to be in the top 12. But like when he kept going,
But also like this is a stupid list. Like I've never like the combo of quarterback and running back. Who cares? Great quarterbacks don't.
tell that to Troy Aikman and
what year was that?
94, obviously. Jim.
Great quarterback.
I wasn't even alive.
We all
Get out of here, Molly. You're on timeout for being too young.
Chrissy wasn't even a thought.
That's a good point.
I would say it like this. We all can agree with this statement. Great quarterbacks do not need great running backs.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Do we agree with this statement? It is not.
I'm not saying they don't want them and they don't make them better. They don't need them.
It's not ideal if your running back is viewed better at their position than your quarterback is.
That is also factual.
That is not ideal.
Because there's been a lot of teams with really good running backs, i.e. the Titans before they traded Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was the star of that team. They had Tannehill for a while.
He was
and
the
then
only person
they
you
had
could
that
name on that
Mayo
team.
guy.
Well, no.
Who's the guy that had the Mayo? Will Levis.
Yeah.
Right? And now they're moving on from Will Levis. They had our backup quarterback for a season.
Yes.
And
Malik Willis.
And Malik
Marcus
Willis.
Mariota, you said him or not?
Marcus
Yep,
Mariota.
Marcus
Yeah,
Mariota.
they had great quarterbacks. Didn't matter. Or not good quarterbacks.
No.
A great running back.
Look. You can look at franchises. You can just look right to the south. Chicago Bears have multiple Hall of Fame running backs. They may have arguably the greatest running back of all time. Then you have Gale Sayers. You have other ones.
The one time that a greatest running back carried him to the Super Bowl, but it had needed a defense to do it.
The defense did it. He was there. Yeah, but and they've had great defenses. That doesn't matter either. The Bears are known for their defense and running backs. That's why they don't have a lot of Super Bowls in the modern era.
Yeah.
So Jordan Love needs to.
I was going to say, so are you alluding to Jordan Love is going to be on this?
Well, he needs to surpass. We can figure that part out later, but he needs to surpass Josh Jacobs' ranking as a running back.
Yeah, if we were going to say best players on your offense right now, I think some people would say Jordan Love, but I think it'd be way closer than it should be.
You are some people.
Nobody would say that Jordan Love is.
I'm going Josh Jacobs.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Josh
It's not Aaron
Jacobs
Rodgers.
is better at running back than Jordan Love is better than Jordan Love is a quarterback.
Correct.
Yeah.
We can all agree.
And that is
a problem.
I don't want to say detrimental, but it is not a good sign.
No bueno.
It's not ideal.
Very infrequently in the NFL history does the running back carry you to a title.
But also, when we were talking about franchise QBs, because I will maintain this, and I have to say this 1,000 times because people get all worked up. Jordan Love is a good quarterback, without a doubt. But if he wants to get to elite, he has to drop the need for Josh Jacobs unless you find him on a rookie deal coming through. But if Jordan Love, for him to be ideal, can't have more than one other guy paid with him. Most likely, whether it's your left tackle or your star wide receiver or your star running back, you get for a quarterback, you get one lineman paid and you get one skill position paid.
Okay.
And it can't be running back if you're the quarterback when you're getting paid what he's getting paid. This year they can get away with it, but it's going to go away.
Now, hold on. No shade to what you just said that you can't have a good a good running back carry you to a Super Bowl, but Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, again, no shade to Jalen Hurts. I think he's a great quarterback, 100%. But Saquon was the star of that show.
Yeah, but you
the
watched
entire
that
season.
Super Bowl.
Their defense.
That was Jalen Hurts was the star of the Super Bowl. Saquon was fine. And there was certainly games where Saquon was able to take the reins and get them to that Super Bowl.
But
I agree. For the most part, I agree with what you're saying. Saquon
he's
is
an
the star
anomaly.
of that team.
You know what I would bet money on? Not seeing Philadelphia repeat that. Because teams who star running back, that's what doesn't repeat. It's the quarterback that you can repeat.
Right.
Again, going back to the Bears, they got to the Super Bowl with a really good defense and Cedric Benson and Thomas. They were running the football. They lost to the Colts. You can do it a one-off, but then to do it over and over again, the margin for error is so much slimmer.
Look at the Niners last year. The year before that, they're in the Super Bowl with Christian McCaffrey having a career-like season.
Right.
Year after that, Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. They miss the playoffs.
The Packers could get to the Super Bowl this year with
if
Josh Jacobs just balls out and their defense just lifts up to a top 3 and Jordan Love plays the same way he's played. But then the difference would be you're not betting on them to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
It's you're not betting on Philadelphia. No, they'll be good again. They've been in the playoffs, I believe, every year. Jalen Hurts has started the majority of the games. And so it's just hard to repeat it. That's why you need the elite quarterback. Because you can do it as one-off with great defense and running back. You just don't normally do it multiple years. So let's get through ESPN's. They talked to NFL execs, coaches, and scouts. Let's get to ESPN's top 10 running backs for 2025. All right, I'll go 10-1. Alvin Kamara, who weirdly threw out the first pitch for the Chicago Cubs the other day.
That's so random.
Yes, it is. Joe Mixon, now with the Texans. James Cook with Buffalo. Jonathan Taylor, former Badger, with the Colts. Josh Jacobs, number 6. Christian McCaffrey, number 5. And then you have Bijan Robinson, 4. Jahmyr Gibbs, 3. Derrick Henry, 2. Saquon Barkley, 1.
I don't think I have a problem with that.
It's all fine.
I mean, the fact that Alvin Kamara is on the Saints kind of makes me think, like, should he even be on here? Because he's a difference maker, but he's not going to make any difference on that team.
Yeah, but, I mean, going into it, you might as well.
3 wins or 1 win?
But if he goes out and puts up massive stats, he's still a hell of a running back. Because it says top 10 running backs, not difference makers.
Yeah.
Quarterback is, I think, more of a difference maker thing.
Yeah.
I also don't know, and maybe this is just me being a homer or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how Aaron Jones isn't on this list, especially with the Vikings not knowing what their quarterback situation is going to look like. I think they're going to rely heavily on Aaron Jones next year.
And Mason.
Jordan Mason. They sign. I mean, I think that hurts when you sign a guy who will probably. Aaron Jones is the other back. I think that's like, or you're gonna. He's a definitely split carries back. The rest of these guys are.
I think at this
bell cows.
That's why you sign a guy like Mason, who had his breakout year last year when he had the opportunity with CMC going down.
So I want to do our own list here, and then we'll let the fans chime in. So we're gonna put together Our question is, which NFC North team has the best backfield? And we're going to throw it out, 844-770-3776. We'll post this at ESPN Madison. Which NFC North team has the best backfield? We could just list the teams, Chris. We don't have to list the backfields. I would imagine you follow the station and you follow the show, you know who's in the backfield. We'll run it through our fans right now. But we have I'll just start at the bottom, the way my list goes. You guys tell me if you disagree. Chicago Bears dead last.
Yep.
They have DeAndre Swift and then Roshan Johnson and maybe Kyle Monangai. I mean, those are a lot of maybe DeAndre Swift can get back to where he was 2 years ago. But look at Philadelphia. They moved off DeAndre Swift and added Saquon Barkley. They went to the Super Bowl. Kyle Monangai, leading runner in Rutgers in the Big Ten, but 7th round picks. So you can't really spin it any way that they're not dead last in the NFC North for running game. It's honestly their biggest ward, I think, on offense. Then you go to, I'm going to put the Minnesota Vikings at number 3. With the Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason combination.
Because of J.J. McCarthy as well.
Well, no, just the running backs there. But I'm putting those two. Yeah,
just the running backs.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the running. And then I'm going to go 2, the Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs, and then Wilson/Lloyd, just because Jacobs is a premier back. I'm going to give him the nod there, top 6 overall.
That one's so interesting to me.
And then
because you think the Vikings should be too with Aaron Jones and Mason.
Potentially, just because it's Josh Jacobs and then who?
So I'm not going on potential. I'm going off of kind of just what we've seen. And then I go number 1, clearly, obviously, Detroit with Gibbs and Montgomery. I think we forget some of that. When we talk about Jared Goff, so yeah, Brad, to bring it full circle, congratulations. You just proved that Jordan Love is Jared Goff, that he needs a great running back to be great.
I mean, hey, whatever makes my team win the division, potentially get to the Super Bowl, I don't care if my quarterback is being carried by the running backs or vice versa. Do whatever you got to do.
You don't, but I've maintained, and I'll die on this, Packer fans care more about having a Hall of Fame QB than they care about Super Bowls.
Give me Jared Goff. Give me Jordan Love as Jared Goff, and then if we had 2 running backs like what they have, count me in.
I think I'm with you, Molly. Give me the Super
Whatever
Bowl.
makes my team successful,
Here's the
I'm
thing.
in.
Here's the thing. No one's going to be able to top Aaron Rodgers. So
Good
just
God.
whoever. I'm over the quarterback thing now. Let's just get a Super Bowl.
All right. So which NFC North team has the best backfield? The Bears, the Vikings, the Packers, or the Lions? This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Celebrate the 4th with family, friends, and unbeatable appliance deals at Brothers Maine. Our fireworks of savings on top brands like Whirlpool, plus next day delivery, will make you ooh and ah. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The Madison Summer Survival Kit. Cooler full of drinks, a comfy lawn chair, and a large Hut Lovers pizza from Pizza Hut for just $12.99. Choose from 4 loaded legends. Meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, veggie lovers, and the new Spicy Hawaiian. It's your summer go-to. Hot, melty, and made to crush hunger. Just $12.99 each for a limited time only. Head to one of their locations or order online on the Pizza Hut app before it's gone. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Additional charge for extra toppings, pan, stuffed crust, and extra cheese.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Is Jelly Roll just Adele for men?
I don't know any Jelly Roll songs. Do you guys?
I don't either. I just know he was a rapper.
What?
Went and to like rehab for substance abuse. Maybe some jail time, and then when he came out, he decided I was going to go country. And then now he's successful.
But it's not really.
He's gone country. Isn't that a song?
It is a song. Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge with you. You can stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream.
You can see my Jelly Roll.
Mine too.
You can, we'll just all show off our Jelly Rolls. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Christy Birdsall behind the glass.
I call it the Hammy Hustle.
Everlight Solar
I
Studio.
call it the brown. Never mind.
So I do want to
the brown boogie.
Jeez, I do want to.
It's also when she sneezes.
I do want to point out, Jelly Roll coming back from all the obviously nasty stuff he went through with the drugs is like a hell of a comeback story. But he is like, it does come across very much as like Adele for men because it's like, and I know the I'm not okay, but like because Eminem bites it for one of his songs.
Yep.
And so he's honestly, for me, I don't know if any of you guys know the singer Nate Dogg.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like Nate Dogg for country music.
Okay.
Because Nate Dogg would sing like a hook on these random songs.
Yep.
Or like remember LV from Gangsta's Paradise? So that's basically Jelly Roll. He replaced that role. He's the one that sings the hook on like other people's songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm not begrudging him. I just couldn't imagine going to like a concert of his.
For sure.
Also, it's like a big
Totally
bummer.
agree.
I think Adele is amazing. I don't know if I could go see her perform. I feel like I would just cry for 3 hours.
Well, it's good because I think she quit like halfway through her tour because like she was into her boyfriend or something.
I thought she had like a show in Vegas.
Yeah, I think she stopped doing it for a minute or something.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Regardless, the shows in Vegas don't go well for people. You can ask Elvis that, or Britney Spears.
I was going to say Britney. I was like,
yeah. So, but anyways, like that just seems like I like her songs, but like I don't know. I feel like I'd be really bummed out. Like it's not like uplifting songs. From Adele.
No.
It's like if you're going through it, maybe you're like, you know what?
I'm vibing to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Vegas and go to Adele.
Cry for 3 hours. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna feel sad in any city in the U.S., that's a good
But you
one.
can go feel sad for 3 hours and then go have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you compartmentalize.
You can
like
bounce back.
Yeah, I need these 3 hours to just process, and then I'm
Vent,
gonna go
Vent.
I'm gonna go spend $1,000 at this the craps table.
I'm gonna cry because of different reasons.
Yeah, and then cry because I lost all that.
Right. Yeah. 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. This is more our second Siding Unlimited poll question. Which NFC North team has the best backfield? The Lions have 59%. It's insane the Packers have 37%. Obviously, the Bears are clearly dead last. But the Lions should be even – I have a higher opinion of Packer fans here. Like, the Lions should be like 80%. Molly, you weren't here when Matt and I were playing this game. Like, here's the easiest way to do it. If I called you and said, hey, I'll trade you Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery for Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson, you're like, absolutely.
For sure.
And Detroit's hanging the phone up on you the other way.
I don't even know if you said the right Wilson. Is it Eric or Emmanuel?
Emmanuel.
Okay.
Is it Eric the linebacker?
I don't know.
Yes.
I get confused. They're both
You're
B.
confusing me. I thought I had it right.
No,
Yeah,
you're
you
probably
did.
right.
You
I'm not
nailed
saying
it.
you're wrong. I'm just like, I don't even know. So therefore,
Now,
there's my answer.
Okay. Alternate question: Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery for Josh Jacobs, and Marshawn Lloyd.
Same thing. We haven't even seen Marshawn. We haven't seen Marshawn Lloyd.
How about all three of them? You're still taking the other two.
No, you're still taking that.
Yeah, I'll give you an even better deal. Exactly. Take all three for two.
All right, I'll throw this one out. 844-770-3776.
Oh, no.
Gibbs, Montgomery, Goff.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew you were going to go there.
Now people are going to be like, no, couldn't happen.
Love, Jacobs, Montgomery.
On my fantasy football team, I'm taking that trade 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000.
And what about your regular football team? Detroit's beating your ass. What, they won 7 out of the last 8 or something like that?
Jim,
we'll see how he is without
you're
Ben
breaking
Johnson.
my heart here. It's so easy to love. It's harder to love Goff.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
I think there is a flip side, though. If we're saying, oh, Jordan Love is just Jared Goff, there is the fact that Jared Goff is 30, Jordan Love is 26, right? Is there something to be said there?
That's not a dramatic difference for quarterbacks.
No, but there's still a
I
slight
like
difference.
how you're trying to swing it.
I am. I'm trying.
If you were to plug that into a trade calculator, the Lions are getting fleeced.
And I get what you're saying, but it's not like Jordan Love is. He's not incredibly young. You know, it's not like he's not old.
He's not like 22.
Yeah, and also Jared Goff's not incredibly old, and so now it just looks like, oh, Jared Goff, like Jordan Love feels young because he's only started 2 years, but Jared Goff also has a long track record of winning with multiple coaches on 2 different teams and putting up numbers.
Okay, so if you flip the 2 quarterbacks only, don't flip the running backs. Jared Goff comes to the Green Bay Packers. How far are they getting?
They're getting further than the Lions.
Whoa, you think Jordan Love on a team with those 2 backs where he can just lean on the running game doesn't do exactly what Goff's been doing?
I think Jared
missing the Super Bowl.
I think Jared Goff does a better job of running the offense that his coach wants him to run. And if his coach is Matt LaFleur, I think to the avatar, we've had this conversation.
Right.
Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, he's going to run what the coach.
I mean, all of that's the coaching tree.
Yeah,
it's
but
McVay, and then he got, I guess Ben Johnson's not part of it, but it's
still
similar style.
yes,
and then LaFleur,
yeah, O'Connell. Like
I think it would make it a little more interesting. Like if you think the Lions are the clear-cut favorites to win the North and the Packers are 2, I think it's a little closer to like I could go with either if we swapped quarterbacks.
Yeah, I just think that the way Jared, like, I think Matt LaFleur is a better play caller than who, I should say. I know Matt LaFleur is a better play caller than who's calling plays for the Lions this year. Like, there's no case to be made otherwise. So then if I'm putting Jared Goff, the more established QB, with a
more established
play caller, then, like, Jared Goff, like, the second, and this is where Jordan Love still isn't there, and you hear coaches preach about it. It's what Chicago's preaching to Caleb Williams, and I think Jordan Love can still work on it too. We've heard Matt LaFleur says it's different, but let it rip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's in Chicago. Every practice, anyone down there goes faster, faster, faster. Even on completed plays, he is riding Caleb Williams saying, make the decision faster. I think Jordan Love has the same problem. He's faster than Caleb Williams, but he's not as fast as Jared Goff of read it and let it rip.
Yeah.
If it's open, go with it. And Jared Goff is great at that. Jordan Love, it's not that he's not capable. I think he still likes the big game hunt.
Yeah, that's true.
Very true.
And so,
it's a good way to say it.
And
but
that's
now that we have Matthew Golden, big game hunt away, baby.
I just love the faith that fans are putting into like
the delusion.
I don't even say delusion. He's going to have good plays this year, but like counting on him to be Justin Jefferson year one, or even having Justin Jefferson's first year, like. Nobody's calling him.
They're drafted in some more places. Just saying. Jefferson was like, what, 16? Golden was
23.
23. Yeah.
But I wonder what the grades were, because remember, he had a first/second round grade for Matthew Golden. Like, he was picked this high because it was a weak draft.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed would have been picked in the
semantics.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jim,
right.
Stop coming at me with your logic, Jim. This is a new year, new draft class. We can't just bounce back and forth.
All right, we got to throw some stones on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Clinky Cleaner CFO, Sean Young.
The local part is what's key for us. Madison is a local community, and that's what I look at with James Imaging. When I talk to our account rep, he's local.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and great people.
I'd say the people at James Imaging are the top of the line for us. They know us, we know them. They take the time to listen to us when we have questions. They make it easy.
And Sean Clinky Cleaners makes it easy for their customers too.
Yes, at Clinky's, we need to be the expert in the field. We want to make life easier for them, and that's what James Imaging does for us.
Sean, any advice for others?
I would say give James Imaging a call. They've been great to us.
James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, it's over, I'm circling these boxes.
Go be a winner. Winners go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every single week at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, so go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Matt Hamilton's a winner. Molly Brown's a winner. I'm a winner. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app and also on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can comment on there. You can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carbus Talking text line. List is more. We have a couple Siding Unlimited poll questions I want to get to before we get to throwing stones. The first one we asked today, which move is more likely, the Brewers trade for a big bat or trade Freddie Peralta? It's coming around to maybe Brewer fans know their team. 57% big bat, 42 or 43% trade Freddie Peralta. And then the other question we asked, which NFC North team has the best backfield? 56% say Lions, 35% say the Packers, and the Vikings and Bears far back there. Molly, I will say this. I am surprised at the disrespect for the Vikings because they are closer to the Packers than they are the Bears. Like, to me, like, the Packers and the Vikings backfields are very similar.
Right.
They get there in a different way. The Bears backfield is completely unproven, and I don't have a lot of faith in it as far as their running backs and everything. And then, obviously, the Lions is legit.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a hard time believing that the Vikings running backs aren't going to play a major role this next year, just not knowing who their quarterback is going to be. I mean, I think I look at Aaron Jones last year. He had the best season of his career. Like, I get it that you guys are saying that Mason is up and coming, that he'll probably take the number one spot. That's fine. But I also think that Aaron Jones plays a crucial role in Kevin O'Connell's offense.
Yeah, I mean, he did last year, but what's Aaron Jones now? 33?
Okay, Goody. He's 30.
30.
So nice try.
Yeah, you just aged him by 3 years there. Like,
Yeah,
Aaron's
well,
got a little bit of time left.
He's got a little bit of juice in the
Like,
tank.
yes, he
but
gets injured.
They didn't go and get one of the better backs that was, like, available for no reason.
But also, like, again, don't do the age thing. Josh Jacobs is 27, but he still has more touches. Like, if you're banking on a guy to just fall off a cliff and run out of gas, it's Jacobs. I don't think he will, but, like, that's a lot of carries.
I would take the guy who with the more injury history.
Every time he hits 300 carries, he has a down year, Jacobs, the following year.
Not this year. Not this year, though,
That's
Jim.
been the past. That was when he was at the Raiders.
340. No, it's only been once before. But 340 carries, 1,600 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 12 TDs, 2022 Raiders. And then he went to 233 in attempts, 805, 3.5 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. So obviously dinged up, not top level. And then he went last year and had his stats. Even his second year with the Raiders, not quite 300, but 273, 1,000 yards, only 3.9 yards per carry. We've talked about this. He's not a yards per carry guy. 12 TDs. The following year, he drops to 872. So there is something to be saying he is up and down.
But maybe that means if he goes down, Jordan Love goes up.
Yes, that's how
One
that
can
works.
hope.
That's how that
One
works.
can hope.
I think that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's we're gonna throw. Let's get to the
How
opening. Let's throw
optimistic
some
of you.
stones.
Do you like me being a homer?
Yeah, I like the optimism.
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
All right, it is time to throw some stones. I have a stone to throw, and it's at Alex Cooper, who is...
So you're going to say Alex Strofe.
From the Call Her Daddy, is
Yep.
it? All right, Call Her Daddy
Well, at least
podcast.
that's what it used to be called, Chrissy. I don't know.
It's still
Okay.
Call Her Daddy.
So,
Do you like say it again, Jim?
Call Her Daddy podcast. I don't mind saying that. I just want to make sure that I said it right. So with that, she went out to Wrigley, and look, Wrigley Field has had plenty of like reality TV star type people do the 7th inning stretch. It's famous at Wrigley Field back to the Harry Carey days. I don't think it's something that needs to be treated as sacred, but it's something that like you should be aware. We'll play it in a second, but it comes across as she's completely unaware of any of the history behind it. And I'm sorry, if you're going to sign up for something and accept the invitation to do it, then like give half of a crap about it. And I think you'll see here as she's booed. She gives off the vibes of like she thinks this is all one big joke and doesn't care. Like, for an example, I think Paulie D from Jersey Shore, he's a DJ. He did it the day before, and everyone loved it. So this is not like a anti-reality TV star thing.
Right.
Let's hear her, and then I got a poll question for everyone. So you can hear it. They're not booing her when they say her name. She's introduced. They're ready. They're trying to get in on it. She's got two friends with her doing some weird TikTok dance next to her. You can see she's clearly reading off the screen. Those are the words. What did she say at the end? I don't even know.
I have no idea. I thought she was a game.
They cut her mic because she tried to scream back into the mic later, and you don't hear her. So, one, I'll ask this.
I'd have cut it a lot earlier than that.
Fair or foul that the Cubs fans booed her?
Totally fair.
Totally fair.
That was
She was
terrible.
acting like a
Diva.
bleep hole.
Yeah.
Diva, yeah.
You're
That was a
making-
nicer word.
Yeah, that was a nicer word. For someone who's not a diva, pretending to be one is a bold move, especially at Wrigley. Remember, if she listened to our show, she would know Chicago fans don't care about you. They care about their sports teams, and they will crush whoever is not playing well on their team or not singing well on their 7th inning stretch.
It just gives me the vibe of like, I'm better than you guys. You were all peasants. You should be lucky that I'm here singing this.
I agree, because they all were ready. Like, it started off, like, nobody was booing. They said who she was. Nobody was, like, against it.
The crowd was singing, and then they reverted to booing.
Yeah, because it just got bad. What's the equivalent, like, what's the Wisconsin equivalent of butchering something like this? Is it like, I don't know how you'd, like, screw up or be disrespectful to, like, the Lambeau Leap.
No, because you can't do that. Like, that's a fan or that's a
'Cause
player
they
thing.
sing the same thing at
But it's not it's like,
AmFam,
doesn't it,
right at the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, everything does it, but I think that's just played through the stadium. It's not sung by a person.
I don't
Unless
know.
they-
I haven't been to a Brewers game in a minute. Roll
I
out the
feel like-
barrel, but that's not by like a person.
Yeah.
No. They have like people
Maybe they've added that. 'cause
play
that's
like the drum and stuff. Like I got to like be like roll out the barrel for
Yeah.
the Packers. With me and my sister got to do it, and we got like a drum, and then I played a little bit, and then I danced polka around a little bit.
Okay, so let's do that as the equivalent, because I think of roll out the barrel, like, that's a Brewers thing. But if they do it at Packer games...
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Third quarter.
Okay.
End of third quarter.
So, what would be the... Like, it would be like if you were disrespectful during that. Like, if you're
Yeah,
on
I guess,
there... Or I
yeah.
guess something around the jump around, too. Like, if somehow... Like, there was... Like, they've had celebrity... I think the actual singer of the jump around was there once. Like, it would be like disrespecting one of those songs. It's kind of the equivalent. Obviously, there's no way specifically you can do it, but, like, you would get booed. But the question I have, we can throw this up at you, Matt and Molly, is if you were given the choice to throw out a first pitch or sing Roll Out the Barrel, which are you singing?
I'm throwing out the first pitch.
My fop is sweating just thinking about it.
Definitely
They
throwing out
both
the
make
first
me
pitch.
nervous.
I have much more faith in my athletic ability than my singing ability.
I would go with Sing Roll Out the Barrel. One, Cubs fan, it's like iconic, but also like you don't have to be a good singer. You just have to have fun with it. Like, so you just have to go out there and honestly, if you let the crowd sing, like
That's
the
what I
best,
was thinking.
The best
Get
ones
nervous? Do that.
The best ones do that. They go and they hand it out to the crowd because that's what Harry Carey would do. And then you can hear the whole crowd sing. They hear themselves. They get more excited, and you just have to do the let's get root for the Cub like that, and then at the end go let's get some more runs if they're up, or let's get some runs if they're behind. Like that's all you have to do, and you're kind of. I would imagine you'd feel less on the spotlight because I haven't thrown the first pitch, but I've been on the field at Camp Randall, Soldier Field, Lambeau Field, like all these places, and just standing on the sideline during a game, you're like, I feel like an ant. I couldn't imagine being
true
everything
on the bump.
Yeah, like everyone focusing on you. Like it really feels
It's
like
awesome.
Yeah, I bet you it's an awesome feeling, but at the same time, I feel like I perform better singing.
Fair, yeah, and I'm used to athletics in front of people, so that's why I'm going that route.
See, that makes me so nervous.
I can barely muster the courage to do like karaoke. I went up. What was that? It's Creed. What's the
Can you take
6 feet from the edge? Is that higher?
I don't know. I just know that part. Can you take me higher? Yeah, that's it.
I'm 6 feet from the edge. You know that song. I had a couple Coors Lights in me, and I was
One
in
last breath.
One last breath. That's it. And I went. I've never sang it in public. I just would for that weekend while we were in Canada, I was practicing because I knew we were going to a karaoke bar. So in the shower, I'd play that song and then just belt it out. And I was like, okay, I got this. Like I got the rasp. I
don't either.
You definitely know it.
When you say the 6 feet from the edge, like that sounds familiar, but then I'm reading the lyrics and I'm like, I don't know this song.
You absolutely know that song.
I know. Hi. See, I'm practicing.
Probably the bigger one. But
Take me
again,
out to the
I
ballgame.
practiced it, went out to do karaoke, didn't have it, didn't have the gumption, and then it just gets worse because at least when you throw out a bad pitch, it's done. It's over. Your pitch is done. You walk off the field. You got to make it through the whole song.
But not really, because like Jim was saying, you can literally just go, sing it with me, crowd.
No, Matt, I will give you this. I think you do fine at both. I don't give enough compliments.
I definitely don't think I would be a good singer.
Okay, let's practice
don't even
right now.
have a good enough, I barely have a good enough radio voice to be on the radio. Okay?
But again, you don't have to be a good singer in this. Honestly, the only way you'd go bad is just like the only way you go bad doing...
Is if you act like her.
Or like country music. If you
or
were
if I
not
said the
country music,
Brewers
if
instead
you-
of the Cubbies.
Yeah. But honestly, they'd respect that as long as it was a Brewers game.
Okay.
I think you get away with it. But I think it would be more of like karaoke.
Mhm.
If you're trying to sing it well and you do bad, then the people are on your case.
Yeah.
If you go out there and you're like, I'm having some fun.
Just don't go.
People were
"Take."
positive. I just felt like it was rolling downhill and it wasn't ever going to stop. So I was just like, please, this song needs to end.
How about we practice right now?
All right,
You
wait,
do it.
No, Molly,
I don't.
We don't have the time. Molly,
No,
what's your-
I do take that to the ball game because I do not want to be the one person that everybody is watching and then the ball freaking bounces into home plate. Like, nope, I'm good.
Still better than what Strofe did.
I'm nervous. Like, if there's even an opportunity for us to like throw a first pitch at a Mallards game, I'm getting nervous. I'm shaking in my boots. My hands
Hear
are
that,
sweating.
Mallards?
Everything.
Molly wants to throw out the first pitch at a Mallards game.
I will watch my co-host
No,
do it.
I'll catch. You throw.
Why
That
I
wouldn't
don't
be
get
as bad,
involved in
'cause then
this?
it's like-
How about we both throw up, Matt?
Oh, I got
Perfect. I'll just put a glove in each hand. I'm ambidextrous.
Just juggle.
Yeah.
I don't think
probably-
the Mallards would. I've been to enough Mallard games that I don't think that would bother me.
Yeah.
I don't even know if AmFam Field would. Probably if I got down there, but
Yeah, I'd be
I
nervous.
promise
but like,
you,
how much is a brewer-
it's different when
but
you're
wait,
on the field.
How
Like,
much
'cause
does AmFam hold?
50,000 maybe. I don't
something
know.
like that, yeah.
40,
But like,
50?
I was on the field at the Mariners game. You know, I didn't think, I was like, the Mariners, what do I care?
41,900.
So the only reason I ask is that all the games that I referenced
More
where
than
I felt
Wrigley.
overwhelmed, like Camp Randall's 80,000 people.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't throw out the first pitch, but like, and I'm talking the first time I was down. Now when you're down there later, it's not so much. But
Right.
the first time you're down there, honestly, when you're down on the field, the bigger thing is for football. You're like,
Making sure you don't get taken
yeah,
out.
I'm gonna get killed because
Yeah.
you feel like the ground is running like a herd of buffaloes running through. Like you stand on the ground and you feel the ground shake, especially, and then when they get close to you, it really shakes.
Nice.
And they come up on you quick.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
you think I got a second? No, you're like the first time you're down there comes nearby. You're like I gotta run because I'm gonna get taken out because these guys are coming 10 times faster than I think they are coming my direction.
Not to brag, but I almost got taken out by Braylon Allen on the sidelines. That was a little scary. It's scary. It's scary when it's coming at you. It's like, oh crap! Like you said, woo! Gotta
like-
get back.
I might have to run.
Crap.
Even when the ball's like nearby, someone's throwing it. Like let's say it goes out of bounds. I've seen people put their hands up. I'm like, I'm not doing that because everyone that's trying to catch it, they don't.
Broken fingers.
Because like it's just the ball is spinning and coming at a faster rate than you're expecting.
I'd certainly try and catch it. I'd fail, but I'd certainly try.
No, and like I would have if I hadn't seen so many people fail around me.
Right.
Like the first few times I've seen it, other people will try to do it, and nobody does it. Now the smart people are just like, just let that fall.
No,
I don't need to catch that.
Stuck in cover.
I don't think my like lizard brain would allow me to not make an effort at it.
All right, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road or visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the executive director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
From color-changing Alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text Line. This is more.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
I'm going down, baby. Your street in the rain. Come on. Boom, boom, baby. Ready to let it go. Shit, we go up. Listen to it clap. Light it up and take a puff. That's the team, man. I'm going down, baby. Your street in the rain. Boom, boom, baby. Ready to let
Jim Lynch alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. Christy Birdsall with us as well. We are presented by Coors Light. You can get into the show 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talk and Text Line. List is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll questions. We had 2 out there. 1, which Brewers... 3, you're right. Which Brewers move is more likely? Trade for a big bat or trade Freddie Peralta? 58% of you say big bat. I got some magic beans to sell you.
Oh my gosh, we have 4.
You're right.
We posted the Molly. Would you find a ring? Would you turn it in?
Which NFC?
It's a big poll question.
100% absolutely right now, Molly.
Ugh, we have great fans.
Which NFC North team has the best backfield? Right now, 50% of you say the Lions. Alex Strofe chimed in. Lions 100%. And Packers at 38.6%. Vikings at 7%. Bears at 4%. I'm sorry, the Packers and Vikings are closer than I think fans like to assume. Way closer to each other than they are the Lions. The Bears are way back there. Matt, since you have the other poll questions up, why don't you give us the results?
So the other poll question was, would you rather throw out the first pitch early or sing anything, whether it's roll at the barrel or take me out to the ball game? 85% say throw out the first pitch. 15% say sing. And
that's because people just want to do something cool, like throw out a first pitch, because it's cool.
I also, you don't know the nerves of the first pitch until you get out there and do it.
Exactly.
Well,
it is wild.
And one thing I would say is I wonder if I'm colored as a Cubs fan. Like, singing "Roll Out" or singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" is iconic for Cubs fans. So it's like that would be something that's pretty amazing.
So what would you rather do? General.
I'd rather take me out the ball game for the Cubs because I don't.
Right.
Again, I don't think the Brewers do it for take me out the ball game, but like they rotate. Again, I'm not a celebrity enough to do it, but like they rotate people in. Now, one case I did hear is to avoid things like what happened with Alex Cooper, which we talked about last segment, where she just butchered it and seemed not to care. Is it might be better for the Cubs to lean on local celebs to do it. So even if it's our friends from ESPN Chicago and having Cap or Jay Hood sing it, or like there's a popular T-shirt brand, Obvious Shirts, have the founder of that go out there and have some of those people. That usually throws out a lot of first pitches, but like they're also going to get the pomp and circumstance behind Take About the Ball Game instead of just bringing in random D-list celebrities, like bringing people with Chicago ties. Teachers, firefighters, police officers,
curlers.
all those sorts. Yeah, curlers, all those sorts of things.
How many shots did you just take? He said like D-list celebrities, curlers.
Yeah, exactly.
He took his own shot at himself there. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can stream the show back at ESPN, at the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrate